This is the human body systems first section, where we're going to go over target number 7 to identify the structure and function of the skeletal, muscular, nervous, immune, excretory, and integumentary systems. Let's first take a look at the circulatory system, the one that pumps our blood. You have 3 main parts. You have the heart, blood, and blood vessels. The heart's responsible for pumping blood throughout the entire body. Works 24 hours a day, 7 days of the week. So you can see the left side of the heart pumps the blood filled with oxygen, while the right side of the heart pumps deoxygenated blood, meaning the oxygen is already used up. This gets pumped to the lungs in order for the lungs to pick up, or in order for the blood to pick up oxygen. It's then passed to the rest of the body. So the left side pumps the blood with oxygen to the entire body, while the right side pumps it back to the heart, or back to the lungs. When you take a look at blood, the component, it's a liquid substance that's responsible for carrying nutrients, oxygen, hormones, and antibodies to all of your body parts. And you have 2 different types of cells. You have a red blood cell and a white blood cell. And if we take a look at the 2 different types of blood cells, let's first start with the red blood cells. They are used to carry oxygen from the lungs to the body tissue. Since these are cells, they're very small in the human body. Then you have the white blood cells, known as the WBC. It's like the NFL or NBA. Their responsibility is making antibodies, things that fight off infection. Antibodies are like an army inside the human body. You then have what are called platelets. Let me go ahead and clear off all that. And for our platelets here, those are responsible for helping clot the blood on the outside of the body. Think of when you've fallen down and scraped your hands and you've had blood on them. The platelets come together and they start forming a little glue, and that's bringing your skin together. It's known as like a scab. So let's take a look at the route that these blood cells travel through. First of all, we have the arteries, the veins, and capillaries. Arteries carry oxygenated blood from the heart to the body. Veins will go ahead and carry deoxygenated blood, which means what? You're right, there's no oxygen. So they get it, no oxygen, and that goes back to the heart and the lungs. And the capillaries are responsible for connecting the veins and arteries. When you take a look at the skeletal system, the main job of the skeletal system is to provide the framework and protect the internal organs. There are roughly 206 bones in the human body. Each has a core, known as the spongy part, a compact part, which is the hard part, that's the part where we know about, and the bone marrow, that's the inside of the bone. And then inside each bone, you're going to find what is called the periosteum. And the periosteum is there to help repair broken bones. How many of you have had broken bones before? And how many of you have had a cast? When a doctor puts you in the cast, they set the bone, put you in that, place you in that cast, and the periosteum is going to come in and do its work. It's like a bridge from point A to point B, and it fills in the gap. So that way, 6 weeks later, when the doctor removes that cast, the bone is completely healed. Inside the skeletal system, you have what are known as joints. Joints are where 2 bones connect, and they're connected by ligaments. Ligaments are very strong tissue. They connect bone to bone. Tendons are different. There are 4 main types of joints, and you have probably learned that in elementary school. You have the ball and socket. Think of your shoulder and your hip. If you take a look at this picture here, this is a ball and socket. You have a knee joint. And a perfect example, that would be your hinge, the hinge joint. And your perfect example would be of your knee. You have a pivot joint, which is the ankle, and a gliding. Just glides back and forth. That's your back and your neck. Interesting. For our muscular system, our main job of the muscular system is to go ahead and help move the body and give the body its shape. We all have different sizes. There are over 600 muscles in the human body. 3 main types of muscles include the cardiac, that's the heart muscle, skeletal, figure what those do, those are for the bones, and the smooth muscles, those are found on the inside. It's like your stomach muscles, the ones that form the lines of the intestines as well. And muscles like to work in pairs, just like you like to work with a partner. When one muscle is working, or as we call it contracting, meaning getting shorter, the partner is relaxing, getting longer. So if I do a bicep, my bicep is getting shorter, it's contracting. The bottom side is my tricep. That's getting longer, that's relaxing. When I open up my arm, bicep is relaxing, tricep is working. They work together. Same thing with your legs. You have muscular movements that you can control, and those ones that you can control are voluntary movements. Raising your hand, running, jumping. But then you have involuntary movements, such as breathing, your heart rate, digestion. And those you have no say of, no control. Yet muscles are still working on that. That's the end of this first section. We'll take a look at section number 2 in a little bit.